Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Quicksilver starter deck against Expert Rhino. So pull up a chair and let's see how this turns out. All right, so we are going to be playing today Quicksilver and his starter deck against Rhino on Expert. And I've got the breaking and taking side scheme in with 3 threat on it like I'm supposed to here. He's got 15 health. I have 9 health, which I played a couple games with Quicksilver, and that is the toughest thing to deal with is his low health. But in protection, he has ways to protect himself, as protection would do. So it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be. But that's probably the weakest part of what I've seen so far from him. But anyway, he's got his 9 health, and here's my starting hand, and I'm going to mulligan. And I want to get some of his personal upgrades out. I don't really like anything that I see here, so I'm going to dump all 6, all 6 of my cards and draw back up to 6. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still don't really have too much that I like. I do have Warlock though. Might as well start off with I could start off with an ally. I may put him in. Now I can discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. I'm going to do that. I'm going to discard Civic Duty and Adrenaline Rush and draw 2 cards. See what I get. There we go. There's one of his upgrades and another maximum velocity. So let me think about what I want to do here. Okay, so I have thought about I want to get his upgrades in. This will give him a +1 defense, which will be important. So I'm going to put that in with Nerves of Steel and maximum velocity, I think. Then I'll flip over to Quicksilver. I'm going to thwart for 1, drop this down to 2, and then ready him because that's his ability. His response is super speed. His response after you use one of Quicksilver's basic powers: thwart attacker defense, ready him. Limit once per phase. So that's my 1 time with his power. I'm going to thwart again for 1. And then I'm going to use always be running with maximum velocity to ready him again. And thwart a 3rd time to get rid of the breaking and taking scheme so I don't have to deal with 2 encounter cards. And that's it. And I'll hopefully try to get Warlock or another ally in later. But he's going to be on his own with his 9 hit points, but he does have 2 defense. And remember, he can defend and then pop back up and defend again if he needs to. So I think we're good there. I'm going to draw up to 5 and then go to the villain phase. All right, so 1 threat on the main scheme. He's supposed to attack me, so I'm going to defend for 2, but I'm going to play Never Back Down, and I'm going to play it with Armored Vest because if I do this, I get +2 defense, Never Back Down. You get +2 defense. So when you defend against an attack, you get +2 defense for this attack. If you take no damage from this attack, stun the attacking enemy. So I want to be able to stun him so that if an assault or something comes out, he won't be able to attack me again. So I paid for that with Armored Vest. Actually, let's pay for that with a multiple man so I can put my Armored Vest in the next turn because I'm only going to have 3 cards. So I've got 2, 3, 4 defense, and hopefully this will be enough. He'll attack for 3. Yep, just 3. And there's an assault. So he does not do any damage to me. And because I don't take any damage, I get to stun him. And the encounter card is Advance, of course. Well, I guess that's as good time as any to come out. Oh, by the way, I can stand him up because that's his power. After you use defense, you can stand him up. But the scheme won't go off, but it's going to be close. So 1, 2 on the scheme brings it up to 3. All right, and we are, I didn't take any damage, and we're back to Quicksilver. All right, so back to Quicksilver. I think I will put in his Armored Vest, and I'd like to keep Sidestep for damage prevention or later. I can't put Warlock in now, so I'm going to put Armored Vest in with Warlock, I think. And then I'm going to use him to thwart for 1, ready him, and thwart again. So that's going to drop the main scheme down to 1. And so that advance hopefully didn't hurt us as bad. Maybe we won't see the other one. And that's it. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to ready and draw him to 5. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. 2 on the scheme. He's stunned, so he won't attack, and the encounter card is under fire. All right, reveal the top card of the encounter deck, which is crowd control. It just has a crisis icon, and it comes in with 2 threat on it. All right, that was the when revealed, and now under fire surges. So the next one's going to be bomb scare. So another side scheme. It comes in with 3 threat on it. So just like that, I've got 2 threat on the main scheme and 2 side schemes I've got to deal with before I can even do it over here. But I'm back to Quicksilver, and the good news is I do have Scarlet Witch who can help me with that, and I think I am going to put her in. Yeah, I think I am going to put her in. So I'll use Sidestep for 1. I guess Serval Industries for 2. I'd really like to try to get this in later, so I guess I'll always be running for, well, let me see. I may need to thwart some more to try to get rid of some of this. Well, I can't use always be running anyway, so I'll just pay that for 3. So I used Serval Industries always be running and Sidestep to bring in Scarlet Witch. She'll come in with 3. And so Scarlet Witch, she has an interrupt ability, which says, let's see, if you can see that, hopefully. It says, when you use one of Scarlet Witch's basic powers, discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded this way, Scarlet Witch gets +1 to that power for this use. And that's how her hero is going to play, and I have used her in some of my practice games, and it's actually pretty nice. Against Claw, somebody like Claw, you'd go through the deck fast. You may not want to use her too much, I guess. But against Rhino, you don't really go through the deck that fast against him. And you might discard a Shadow of the Past or an Advance or something. So I actually kind of like her ability, and I'm going to use it right now to thwart for 1 on the Bomb Scare and discard a card, and for 1 more. So a total of 2 off a Bomb Scare. And so that'll bring it down to 1. Okay, and then I'm going to thwart for 1 with Quicksilver to get rid of Bomb Scare. Ready him and thwart for 1 off of this because I can't take it off the main scheme. This has a crisis icon. Hopefully we don't see another advance because this is going to go to 3, but maybe we won't. But that's it. I'm going to ready him and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. It goes from 2 up to 3. All right, and he'll attack. So I'm going to defend with Quicksilver because I have 1, 2, 3 defense. He has 3 attack plus nothing, so I take no damage. I'll pop him back up in case I need to defend again, but I don't know that I will. And then, yeah, advance. So here's our other advance. Well, we get them both out of the way. Maybe this won't kill me because if I draw something with 3 boosts, the game's over. It's 1, 2. So it goes up to 5, and the good news is we're at 5 out of 7, and both of the advances are in the discard pile. So if I need to flip to heal or whatever, I can do that. So, or to get more cards because Scarlet Witch is in the game. All right, so we are back to Quicksilver, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have him thwart for 1 to get rid of crowd control, and then I'm going to have Scarlet Witch thwart for 1. And she'll discard a card, and it's going to be for 1 more, so a total of 2 to drop it down to 3. All right, and he can pop back up because it's once per phase. I did it on the villain phase to ready him, and now I'm doing it again. Okay, and I think I'm going to put in Hyper Perception in, give him a +1 thwart with double time and always be running. So I'll put those 2. And then he's going to thwart for 2 because he gets +1, so that's going to drop him down to 1. Because I know the 2 advances are in the discard pile, and the scheme won't go off because he won't be able to put enough threat for it to go off next turn. I'm going to go ahead and flip to his alter ego side. Now, I can discard 2 cards and draw 3, but Friction Resistance and Reinforce Anew are good cards. I want to get those in. So I don't want to discard those, but next time I plan on doing that and taking advantage of Scarlet Witch being in the game. So for now, I'm going to leave those 2 cards in play ready and draw to 6. All right, so we got 1 threat on the main scheme. He'll scheme for 1, just for 1. So that's going to go up to 3. And then the encounter card will be Explosion. If Bomb Scare is in play, it isn't. So if it is not in play, this card gains Surge. So it's going to surge into a Hydra Mercenary. And so let me move some stuff down here. So I got room to put the Mercenary in. He has Guard. Let's see if I can move this up. All right, so he has Guard. I'll come in with 3. And that was the encounter card. So we are back to the alter ego for Quicksilver. And he can't heal because he's at full health. But I am going to discard 2 cards, I think, and draw 3. So I'll discard Sidestep for 1. And let's see, Always Be Running for 2. And then I get to draw 3 cards because I have Scarlet Witch. So 1, 2, 3. All right, good. Got some double resources, which means I'm going to put in Friction Resistance with Genius and Adrenaline Rush for 3. And then I'm going to flip to Quicksilver. And then let's see. I'd like to get Multiple Man in because Multiple Man, after he enters play, I search my deck for another copy of Multiple Man and put him in. And I know there's another copy in here of him. So I'd like to get him in. Also would like to use Double Time and Reinforce Sinew. So I'm not sure. I may not put Multiple Man in. We'll see. Because I do want to put in Reinforce Sinew and get his upgrades in. So I'll do that with Energy. And then so now he's got all of that in. And I think I'll use Double Time because that's going to allow me to do Double Time. I can you choose 2 of the following, and you can choose the same thing twice. Deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 2 damage from a scheme, 2 threat from a scheme. And now this is not an attack; it's a superpower. So I can use Double Time on Rhino, even though that guard is sitting there. But I would like to get rid of that guard. So I think I'm not going to be putting Multiple Man in play. So I'm going to exhaust Friction Resistance to generate myself a physical resource and Friction Resistance. It says after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card, and it's a resource, just a resource, which means it can be played on the villain turn to give you a physical resource, or if you need it. And then exhaust Friction Resistance to generate a physical resource. So I'm going to do that for 1, Multiple Man for 2. And I'm going to go ahead and play Double Time. So I'm going to remove 2 threat from a scheme to drop this down to 1. And then I'm going to do 2 damage to the Hydra Mercenaries. That's going to go drop him to 1. All right. And so Quicksilver is going to do 2 damage to the Mercenary to get him out of the way. Then I'll ready him, and I'm going to do 2 damage, 1 here and 1 for Reinforce Sinews to Rhino. So I'm finally hitting Rhino. He's going from 15 down to 13. And I do have Scarlet Witch. I could use her as a blocker, but he has 3 defense and all of his health. And I do have some cards to help him on defense, so I think I want to go ahead and use her, see how much damage I can do to him. Maybe this is a mistake, but I'm going to do it. So 1, discard this, so only 1 damage, drop him to 12. But it does discard a tough, but that would have been a boost, so that's unfortunate. But she leaves the game, and that's it. So I'm going to ready him and then draw to 5. Okay, start of the main phase. 2 here to go up from 1 to 2 on the main scheme. He's going to attack for 3. I'm going to defend for 1, 2, 3. But I can stun him if I do Never Back Down. So I will. I'm going to do Never Back Down using Friction Resistance. So that's going to pay for that. And it will give me +2. So now I have 5 defense. Let's see. I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. He attacks for 3, 4, 5. And there's Shadow of the Past. So I don't take any damage. And because I don't take any damage, I stun. I'll stun him. And then and he can come back up. I'm going to ready him. And when he readies, friction resistance readies. And the encounter card will be caught off guard. So discard an upgrade or support you control. So I have to get rid of an upgrade or support. And I guess I'll get rid of armored vest because I don't want to get rid of any of these other ones. All right, so a discard and upgrade, and we are back to Quicksilver. Okay, back on his turn, I only have 4 cards. I think I'm going to put multiple man in. Now, unfortunately, I only have 2 cards in his deck, and I know multiple man isn't in there. And he says search your deck and hand for a copy. It does not say discard pile, so I can't go in my discard pile to pull out one of the multiple man cards that's in here. But I still want to put him in because I am going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards. So I'm going to put him in. 1 with friction resistance, 1 with nerves of steel, that's 2, and then strength, so that's 3, 4. And so he'll come in with 2 health. And I don't think, yeah, multiple man is not in my deck and wasn't in my hand. So, all right, so he'll come in with 2 health. I'll use him to thwart for 1, I guess, on the main scheme. And then I'm going to have Quicksilver thwart. No, he doesn't need to thwart. It's only at 1, and the advances are in here. So I'm going to hit 2, ready him, which means friction resistance ready, and 2 more. So 4 damage, dropping him from 12 to 8. I think I did all that right. So I did 2 ready and 2 more. There's one thing about Quicksilver. You can exhaust him. You can exhaust him so many times and ready him. I forget if I've already readied him because I'm talking and stuff. But but I think that's right. 4 damage. So Rhino's down to 8 on side 1, and I could actually pay for Speed Cyclone to stun Rhino, but he's already stunned. So I'll just hold on to this, ready my hero, ready my characters, and draw to 5. There was not enough in my deck, so I'm going to have to deal myself a card. I'll shuffle my discard pile, and then I'll draw back up to 5 and go to the villain phase. All right, so we're back to the villain phase. 1 threat up here. He's stunned, so he won't attack, but I'm going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one will be I'm tough. So he'll get a tough status card. It could be worse. I can knock that off easy, knock that off, and still do damage with Quicksilver. And then the other one, hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4 damage, and no damage until it surges, but he can heal 4, so it's going to go back up to 12. But that could have been worse. So I take no damage that turn, still have multiple man, and we are back to Quicksilver. And let's see. I do want to spend a friction resistance to stun Rhino again with Speed Cyclone. It's an X cost, stun X enemies. So however much you pay, that's how many enemies you can stun. And so for 1 resource, he can stun Rhino. I think that's right. That seems pretty good. I mean, that's all you can do is stun. And in solo, that's a big deal. Now, multiplayer, that maybe that's not quite as strong, but being able to stun the villain with 1 resource and 1 card, it's pretty good. So I think, but I'm sure that's right because it says stun X enemies, and the cost is how much you pay. X is however much you pay. So, all right. Anyway, he's stunned again, and then I'm gonna put in armored vest again. I lost it earlier, but I'm gonna put that in with. Nope. Hold on. Let me go ahead and I'm going to thwart for 2 on the main scheme. All right, and then I'm going to ready Quicksilver, which readies friction resistance. And then I'll go ahead and attack for 2 on Rhino to drop him down to 10. And then I'm going to use friction resistance, the resource from that, to put in armored vest. All right, so you can see how your friction resistance, how important that is, because basically you can get a resource for 2 different cards. And so I was able to use Speed Cyclone. I was able to use it for Speed Cyclone and Armored Vest. And then I have Energy, Civic Duty, and Sidestep. And I really don't want to waste energy on Civic Duty. So I'm just that's all I'm going to do. At the end of my turn, I'm going to discard Civic Duty. I will hold on to Sidestep in case he gets to attack twice. Um, even though I have multiple mana, I'll just hold on to that, and then I'm going to ready and draw to 5. Okay, so we're at the start of the main villain phase. One threat up here. He's stunned. Oh, I did 2 damage to Rhino last time, and he had tough. So I'm going to give him his 2 damage back. He's from 10 back up to 12 and remove the tough instead. So I think that's right. I think they did that right because he healed up to 12 on his last turn. I thwarted for 2 and then attacked for 2, and that's all that happened. Nobody else did anything. So yeah, he should be at 12. All right, but he was stunned. So we'll move right on into the encounter card, which is Shocker. So deal 1 damage to each hero. So finally, for the first time in the game, he takes a point of damage down to 8. Shocker comes in with 3 hit points. We're back to Quicksilver, and I am going to put Scarlet Witch into play, no doubt about that. So 1 with friction resistance, 2, 3 for energy, and she'll come in with 3 hit points. And let's see, I'm gonna just have multiple man go ahead and thwart for 1 on the main scheme. It will knock him out of the game, but he hasn't been doing anything. I've been able to defend and keep damage from happening, so we'll do that. And then I'll have Scarlet Witch attack Shocker for 1. We have to discard a card and 1 more, so that's 2 down to 1. All right, that's good. I'm going to attack Shocker for 2 to knock him out of the game. And then ready him, and when he readies, I'll ready friction resistance, and I'm gonna put in double time, friction resistance for 1 and sidestep for 2. So that means I can deal 2 damage to an enemy or remove 2 threat from a scheme, and I can do the same thing twice, and I will. I'll put 4 damage on Rhino to drop him from 12 to 8. And then I will attack for 2 onto Rhino to drop him down from 8 to 6. And that's going to be it. I'm going to ready and draw to 5. All right, so start of the main villain phase. Put 1 threat here. He's supposed to attack for 3. I'm going to defend that, so I get 1, 2, 3 defense. And I will use friction resistance on Never Back Down, so that I can get +2 defense. So I get 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. He attacks for 3, 4, 5. So I do not take any damage. That means that he gets stunned. And I'm going to ready Quicksilver, because that's what I can do. And then the encounter card will be Hydra Mercenary, of course. So he comes in with guard and 3 hit points. And we are back to, when I ready Quicksilver, I get ready friction resistance. Okay, we're back to Quicksilver. All right, let's see. All right, I think we're going to put in Adrenaline Rush with friction resistance, pay for it with friction resistance. Because that gives me, I can discard it and get +1 attack until the end of the phase. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to discard this, so he gets +1 attack. So I'll have 3 attack for Quicksilver. I'm going to attack for 3 to get rid of the Hydra Mercenary. Then I'm going to ready Quicksilver, which readies friction resistance. And I'm going to go ahead and attack again for 1, 2, 3 on Rhino. That's going to drop him down to 3, 6 to 3. I'll have Scarlet Witch attack for 1. Discard 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be enough to defeat Rhino on this side. So his side 2 will come in, and his side 2, he gets a tough. He comes in with toughness and stun each hero. So I get stunned. Quicksilver is stunned. That's okay. It could be worse. And he comes back with 16 health. So all I got to do now is just get rid of that tough, get rid of my stun, and go to home plate. Okay, so I have Nerves of Steel, but I want to keep Sidestep. Well, he is stunned. And Nerves of Steel can you can only have one per player, but you exhaust it to generate an energy resource for a defense event. So I think what I'll do is I'll use friction resistance for 1 and a Sidestep for 2 to put in Nerves of Steel. And let's put it in over here. Um, and then I'll keep the other one just in case I need it for some reason, because he's stunned. He won't attack once, but he could attack a second time. So in case I need it and don't want to use Scarlet Witch to block for me, I've got it taken care of. So I'll hold on to that, ready, and draw to 5. Okay, so before we get to the villain phase, I drew Order and Chaos. It's the team up card for Quicksilver's deck, and hopefully you can see it. But you have to have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, which I do. And when a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects and then deal 2 damage to the villain. So I can do that if I need to. If it's a bad treachery card, this encounter card, I can cancel it if I need to. So we'll see what happens. So 1 threat on the main scheme. He is stunned, so he can't attack, and the encounter card is Charge, and it is not a treachery, it's an attachment. So it's going to go and do 7 damage and have overkill when he attacks next time, unless I can stun him or something. I don't know, but we'll see. And we are back to Quicksilver. Okay, I think the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to attack with Quicksilver to knock off the stun. And then, so I can still ready him, but I'm going to use Friction Resistance for 1. I'm going to put in Multiple Man. Friction Resistance for 1. Order and Chaos for 2. Because I'm about to use Scarlet Witch, I think. And then, let's see, Sidestep for 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and Warlock for 4. To bring in Multiple Man. He'll come in with 2 health. He's a little bit off the screen over here, but he's in here. And with Multiple Man, as I said, you search your deck in hand for another copy of him and put him into play. I'm pretty sure I have one in my deck. Let me check and see. And there he is. So there's that. I'll put him in. I'll put him in up here. Hopefully I don't forget about him over there. But this other copy comes in for 2. So let me shuffle my deck back. So I can still ready Quicksilver. I will do that, which readies Friction Resistance. I can't use it because this is a defense event, so I can't play it now. But anyway, it readies Friction Resistance. I'll do it just so I can get used to doing that. And I'm going to attack again to remove the tough off of him. And then I'll have Scarlet Witch. I'm going to go ahead and have her attack for 1, 2, 3. All right, 2 boost icons, so a total of 3 damage, dropping him from 16 down to 13. All right, so that's going to knock her out of the game, and let's move the Multiple Man that's over here back over here. I'm going to use my 2 Multiple Man cards to thwart for 1 apiece, so a total of 2 thwart. They're each thwarting for 1, total of 2 thwart to get this back down to 0. And that's all I can do. So I'm going to stay at hero form 1 more turn at least. Because there's no reason to flip, I don't think. And ready my cards and draw to 5. Okay, start of the main villain phase. 1 threat here. He's going to attack for 7. It's going to have overkill, so there's no reason to block. But one reason why I'm glad I have a Never Back Down is because I'm going to use it. Well, I am going to block. And I'm going to use a Never Back Down to get as much defense as I can. Now I have another copy here, and I guess I could play it. I have the resources to play both of them, but I'm not going to do that because he's got 8 health, and I want to be able to do other things. Of course, I don't have a lot of good stuff here, but still, I'm going to hold on to this because I don't know if I can play both of them right now. But I'm going to use Nerves of Steel to pay for this. So that's going to give me 2, 3, 4, 5 defense to his 7. So I will be taking some damage. So it's going to be 7, 8, 9, minus, what did it say? 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 minus 5, so 4 damage. Dropping him from 8 down to 4. I did take damage, so I don't get to stun him, but charge does leave him. And I do have a couple of blockers, so I'm still good, I think. So he's going to do 4, 5, or no. This is the encounter card. This charge was the boost, so he's going to attack me again. The villain each minion engaged with you attack. So I will have one of the multiple mans take that. It's going to be 4, 5, 6, knocking one of them out of the game. And oh, by the way, I'm going to ready him after he defended. So we're back to Quicksilver. Okay, so I'm going to attack for 2, and I'll attack for 2, dropping him down from 13 to 11. And then I think I'm going to show you what I'm about to do, and I think this is right. I'm going to use friction resistance to generate a resource to pay for always be running, which readies Quicksilver. And then friction resistance says after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. So I used this, exhausted this to pay for always be running, which readies Quicksilver. After Quicksilver readies, you ready friction resistance. I don't know why I can't do that. Doesn't really matter. Again, this is a defense card, this is a resource, and this is +1 thwart. I don't really need it, but I might put it in. So anyway, I ready Quicksilver with that. Okay, and so I'll attack for 2, and I still have I readied with always be running, so I still have his ability to ready again that I can use. So that's 2. I'll ready for 2 more for a total of 4 damage, dropping him from 11 to 7. And so I hope that makes sense. I basically got to attack with his identity card 3 times. I did it kind of in a weird order, but I attacked, and then I used always be running to ready him, which readied friction resistance. Then I attacked again for 2 more, and then I used his ability to ready him for 2 more. So a total of 6, bringing him from 13 down to 7. And I will use friction resistance, I think, to put civic duty in over here in case I need it. It's an upgrade. I can leave it in for as long as I need to. So that's it. I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay, start of the main villain phase. We got 1 threat on the main scheme. He's going to attack for at least 4. I'll have multiple man take this. So it's 4, just 4. So that's going to knock him out of the game. And he's getting close to running out of his deck. I need to hurry. And oh, it is need for speed. So this is his obligation. I can exhaust it and remove it from the game. I can flip the his alter ego, exhaust it, remove it from the game, or exhaust my identity, and then you can't ready your identity until the end of your next turn. So I'm going to flip and exhaust to remove that from the game, and now we are back over here to his turn. All right, let's see. Are there 2 cards I want to discard to draw up? Because his ability, the cost is you have to, it says discard 2 cards from your hand, so you have to discard 2. It doesn't say discard up to 2. It says discard 2, so if I want to use his ability, I have to pick 2 cards to discard in order to draw 2. And there's really only 1 that I want to discard. The others are pretty good. The others are pretty good, but maximum velocity gives me +2 to my stats until the end of the round. Adrenaline rush gives +1 attack, but the problem is I don't have a way to ready Quicksilver if I flip into hero side, because in order to use his ability to ready him, you have to attack, thwart, or defend. And I didn't do that. I exhausted to get rid of his card over there, his obligation. So if I put in maximum velocity, I'll only benefit from the +2 defense this turn, which might be good, but I do have Never Back Down, so I don't know what to do. I think I will. I'm going to discard Nerves of Steel, and I'm going to go ahead and discard maximum velocity because I can only get +2 defense this time with it anyway. And then I'll draw 2 cards, another maximum velocity, and double time. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so I'll flip back to Quicksilver, and I'm going to play double time with Genius. And let's see, he's going to. I'm gonna hit him twice for 4 damage. 7. No, I'm gonna hit him once down to 5 for 2, and then remove 2 threat just to be safe because I think he's about to run out of his deck. And then I'm gonna use friction resistance to put in adrenaline rush. I'll hold on to the cards I have. I'll ready Quicksilver and draw to 5. Okay, start of the main villain phase. It goes back up to 1. He attacks for 4. I will defend, and I get 1, 2, 3. I'll play Never Back Down with Nerves of Steel, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defense. His 4 attack, so he attacks for 4, 5, 5 attack to 5 defense, and so I didn't take any damage. So it will stun him. All right, and then I'll go ahead and ready Quicksilver because I can. And then the encounter card is going to be False Alarm. It's going to confuse me, but that's fine because I don't need to thwart anymore. He's only got 5 health left, but he runs out of his deck, so that gives him an acceleration token. And I'm going to shuffle his deck, and we'll go to Quicksilver. All right, so back to Quicksilver. He's got 5 health left. So I'm going to discard Adrenaline Rush to give me +1 attack until the end of the phase. So he's got 1, 2, 3 damage, 3 attack, and then and that's all I need because he's got 5 health left. I'll attack for 3, ready him, attack for 3 more. He's got 5. That's going to drop him down from 5 to 0, and that's it. And there's other things I could have done. I could have put in maximum velocity to give me more attack. I have 2 always be runnings. I could have played both of them. I had the resources to play both of them if I wanted to do that. And that is Quicksilver. So I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe. I'll have to say, I kind of enjoy Quicksilver. This was his starter deck. And it's not really that great. There's a lot of cards in it that I probably wouldn't put in a deck if I built him with protection. But that's kind of how starter decks a lot of times go. They're not always the greatest. But yet I've won 2 games against Rhino. I did play a game against Expert Claw with him, and I got crushed. But I didn't do any hip damage to him, but I did pretty good. I lasted quite a while. It's a starter deck. But I enjoy him. It's pretty cool. I like being able to ready him a lot and attack with him. And the interaction he has with his friction resistance here is neat too. So if you enjoyed the playthrough, please consider to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell because I will be putting out more videos of Marvel Champions and some other games that I have in queue to do. And until I put up my next video, I'll save you a seat at the table. Bye.